This episode is brought to you by Lone Wolf Paintball. They are an amazing online supplier and have been around since the beginning of the game as Michigan's premier paintball field and paintball supplier since 1987. They are rapidly expanding into the online retail space and supplying everything you need to be the best paintball player you can be. They have got it all. Head over to lonewolfpaintball.com and shop all of your favorite brands. And they also boast amazing customer service and will have this out to you with same day shipping, which is amazing. It's always nice to know that your stuff is on its way immediately so you can start to use it that very next weekend of play. Check out their YouTube, Lone Wolf Paintball, and their Instagram at Lone Wolf PB, and stay up to date with all of their deals and sales. Play the Game podcast is immensely honored to have them on board, and we cannot wait for you guys to check out lonewolfpaintball.com and become a part of their community.
What's going on, PTG Nation? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We just got back from the NXL Tampa event, one of the greatest paintball experiences that I have ever had in my life. Tyler and myself both came up short. Ty did make a finals appearance, but ultimately the winners, Red Legion, took the first place victory at the first event of the season. And the story of the entire event is the new rookie sensation, Thomas Ara, aka Thomas Ara. As you guys will learn, that is his new nickname after this episode. This was an amazing conversation. What an awesome young man, and a stellar performance by him. So without further ado, we're going to hop in the show.
That was an insane inside move by Marcelo Margot. Great communication.
And the crowd starts chanting Harmon.
Great shot by all the guys. So Tyler Harmon saved that game.
Came out with 2 wins. Marcelo Margot was on fire.
What up, PTG Nation? We are fresh off the road back home from Tampa and getting a show rolling for y'all. We have a really fun one today. Obviously, we both fell short of the mission, but it was a very successful weekend. And by we're talking about me and Marcelo. Obviously, we didn't win the event, but Russian Legion, Red Legion put on a tremendous performance. And overall, it was just a big weekend for paintball, man. Being in that stadium, it was crazy.
Unbelievable. I mean, that to me, I was throughout the entire day when we first entered the stadium, you know, the magnitude of it, the way it felt was pretty spectacular. But as the night went on, it just got more and more special as the sun started to set. The lights came on, the crowd started coming in, the fans, the people, everybody, all the players really showed up and showed out for paintball. It was, I think I have to say that it was the greatest paintball experience I've ever had. And we didn't even win the game in the stadium, you know, like it was maybe the first time in my life that even fresh after a loss, kind of a heartbreaker too, a close one. I couldn't stop smiling. Game. It was a crazy game. It could have been real bad. We were on the precipice of it being really bad. It was 6-1. And I'm sure I probably would have had a different tune if we didn't at least sort some of that out and mount a little bit of a comeback. But
that game had everything, dude. It was, as a spectator, you know, I don't think that the fans could have asked for more out of that. And then you were so close to capturing that last moment, dude. It was a heartbreaker there at the end, but really like the amount of effort and fight that the team put forth to mount that comeback and even get it to that moment was crazy. It was a really special moment for paintball inside the stadium. I remember when we were rolling out of the stadium, just looking back at it and seeing the lights beaming down and then seeing on the big, massive jumbotrons paintball blaring. It was a timeless moment, and without a doubt, the number one paintball moment of all time for me as well, being inside of there. That is a piece of paintball history.
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, Ty, we've both been a part of some pretty, you know, magnificent events, some of the biggest Huntington Beaches, the biggest World Cups. We've been inside of stadiums before, Kansas City. You know, out of all the events, this one was just different. It was so special. It was really, truly incredible. I got the chills like the whole night. You know, I just would look around and just be in awe after our game. You know, obviously, ideally you go home and get to bed. It was pretty late. It was a long day. We had, you know, the 3-man started at like 9 a.m. So we were there all day long, but I couldn't leave. You know, we went up to the top and we're watching the following matches. And I was like, you know what? This is maybe a once in a lifetime opportunity. Who knows? it could we could get more action like this, but it was just so special that we just had to stay and kind of soak it all in and embrace it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, really, really special. I think a huge step for paintball. I think Tom, the team, Kevin, everybody involved
Yes.
really did an amazing job. I mean, what a massive, massive leap for the game, because the optics are so good, and there's a lot of naysayers that are, I've seen comments of like, well, what does this actually do to move the needle for paintball? And to me, I think that's just the dumbest
Does a
question of all
lot.
time. Yeah, I think it's the dumbest question of all time. I really do. I think it's so short-sighted. No, maybe there's not an immediate ROI, but this is, it's equivalent to like when NPPL was on ESPN back in the day, and they had that Naughty Dog Dynasty game, and Oliver makes that big run through in the middle. Like, if you talk to people today and you tell them that you're a professional paintball player, often many of them actually recall that game. Like, oh, I don't know anything about paintball, but I do remember seeing this thing on ESPN back in the day. I feel like this was very similar. It's just really, really awesome.
Well, even for media exposure, if we want to go to big executives and show people, hey, we got something special here, having that type of film to show them inside the stadium, because I mean, even Danny Lincoln, so many other creators, Verb, obviously, everyone in there was capturing these moments, and they're going to be distributed around the world, and people are going to see paintball inside of a official NFL stadium. And we got to shout out to the whole community, obviously Major League Paintball, NXL, everybody that made it all come to life. But the community showed out in such a major way, and the energy, man, the energy inside of that stadium was top tier. It was buzzing. People were having fun. They're getting the concession stand food, the drinks, the vibes were going. It was just a really, really special night for paintball. And like I said, you never know what that kind of film, that kind of media, when you show that to people that were trying to get this into bigger platforms, that's the kind of stuff they want to see, and that's the momentum we have to keep carrying.
Dude, it hits totally different. What's interesting is in the morning, there wasn't really anybody there during the early 3-man games. And I remember I was warming up and I'm like, running along the 1 and 2 yard line. I'm like pretending to catch end zone passes, and I'm looking up, and I remember thinking, I go, this doesn't seem as big as I thought it was going to. It really didn't when it was empty. Thinking of being in an NFL stadium, when you watch it on TV and you see the fans up close, it seems like it's this massive, massive, massive thing. Later that night on the broadcast, when it panned over to the fans, it felt like what I thought it was going to feel like. So again, it kind of goes to show that, like that production, it legitimizes everything. The way that it looked, you're absolutely right. It can be sold for sure. And I think it's going to gain a lot of interest. I mean, we'll see, but yeah, really, really great work by the NXL, by everybody involved. I know Bart had a lot to do with it as well. Like, just props to everybody that pulled this off, because it's monumental, for the game. And I think in 5-10 years, we're going to look back at this is a huge turning point. I think, I hope, I'm hopeful about it. We'll see. A lot can happen, but I mean, really great building block.
Yeah, well, the phone's ringing, man. People are excited about paintball. They're like, what's going on? You guys got paintball in an NFL stadium? Even the security guards, they were watching, and I was talking with some of them, and they're like, I had no idea paintball was even at this level, or that people competed and travel around the world and play the sport. So it's still, once again, we're like baseball in the 20s. You know what I mean? We're figuring it all out. We're trying to do the best that we can, but everybody is doing a tremendous job. But I do want to also say we need to be a little bit more mindful when we're in these big situations. I think you all know what I'm talking about, and put our best.
There was two incidents. Like, come on, like two pro players, nonetheless. Like, come on, guys, what are we doing?
We're not going to put you on. We're not going to put you on blast on PTG. I know we should, but I think if you know. But we really got to make sure when we have these opportunities that we do everything we can, because you don't understand the types of people that are in these areas with us, and they're watching and they're looking and they want to see what's going on. So we want to make, and it's sports. I get it. People are having fun, but come on.
I don't think that's going to be a deal breaker for anything. It is dumb, but I also think people understand, like, look, anytime you have a sporting event and people are drinking, dumb shit happens pretty much no matter what the sport is. So it's not the end of the world. People are like, oh, this is why paintball will never go anywhere. I'm like, no, that's not the truth. But let's try.
It actually happens. It happens a lot more than you think. Hey, what about this though? For everybody on the YouTube, PTG held it down.
Podcast of the year.
This is because of y'all, man. This is paintball right here. This is us. This is team us. This is team paintball. Yeah. So we want to say thank you on behalf of everyone that's at PTG for all the love and support. And we got, Play the Game podcast of the year 2025. I think this is the 6th year in a row that we won podcast of the year. Something like that.
However many years they've been doing it. And
well, I have one from 2020. So I think this is the 6th one.
2020? No, I thought it was 2021.
Hold on. Let me check.
It's 2021. We had this debate in the Discord not too long ago. So yeah,
you're right. It is. It's
2021. Yeah.
2021.
Hey, 5 years in a row. We'll take that. But again, it's not just the listeners too. It's actually all of the guests, the paintball community, the pros, the divisional players have been amazing coming on and sharing their stories. And actually we're incredibly excited for the guests we have for you guys today. We have just an electric show coming up for you guys. I'm really excited to talk to this kid. You know what happened? I think
what happened?
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but you gave him the best nickname of all time. And I think we should just introduce him now. All right. Ty, if you would like to do the honors, we're going to bring him on in.
Yeah, everybody, please welcome the MVP of Tampa, and some might call him Thomas Hara. We're calling him Thomas Ara. All right, that's Thomas Ara in the house.
Let's go
in the house, and we just want to say congratulations, man. Obviously, you defeated us in the finals. It was a battle, dude, and you guys played phenomenal all weekend long. Yeah, dude. How are you feeling, man? I'm sure it hasn't even sunken in yet. This is your first pro tournament ever, right? And you won.
First pro tournament.
You won the tournament and you got the MVP. So yeah, just talk to us, man. How are you feeling?
It's unreal, man. Like you said, it still hasn't sunken in. You guys hear me all right? Mic's all good and everything.
Yeah. Mic's all good.
Right,
yep.
Cool.
Sound good.
Yeah, I mean, coming into the tournament, coming into camp, I didn't know what to expect. I just knew I was going to give it my best and see what happens. So whether that meant helping out in the pits and getting a couple spins or what actually happened where I get to start and actually contribute to the win. So incredible experience, and the stream of love and support throughout the weekend. It's still coming in. It's incredible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Tom, how old are you?
26.
26. Okay. Little older than I thought, but still a rookie. I don't know if I had to bet on this, I would have never, ever put money on a new player coming into the Red Legion camp and becoming a starter in their first event. It's just never happened. Like they almost always revert back to people they trust. They have their starting 4 or 5 guys that they roll with. And so for you to break through means that you not only impress them, obviously at the event, but throughout training camp, throughout practice, they have bought into who you are as a person and a player. So that's a massive feat in and of itself. And then to go and showcase your skills the way that you did, going back and watching, I watched almost all of your guys' games. I've rewatched the finals. Like none of it was luck. It wasn't often snake players, they can have flashy moments. If the situation presents, you get a kill off the break, it's easy to crawl down and shoot 3 or 4 bodies and it looks flashy. It looks cool, but you did it over and over and over, and you earned it in so many different points and had like really high level moves and stuff that requires a high paintball IQ. It was not just fundamentals, winning gunfights and crawling down a snake, even though you were doing that pretty relentlessly. You also had a lot of really like high IQ plays. I just can't really overstate how special of a performance that was. How have you gotten to this point? We need to hear your backstory. We need to hear how you got into the game. I don't know if you listen to PTG, but we usually like to do this, and it'd be great to, how did you get to this point?
You want me to start off with whether I got into paintball with a birthday party?
Yeah.
Or not,
Let's go. Let's
exactly.
Go. It was.
All right, birthday party squad.
You want me to just start at the start?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When was the first time you played paintball?
I think I was like 9 or something. So it would have been like 2009 or something around there. I can't remember, but it was a birthday party. I was like a kid. I remember distinctly the first field I played on had those big wooden spools on it. I was so small, I crawled underneath the spool and was like hiding, like trying to shoot people's legs. And I didn't even know the game was over. Some guys like, "Hey kid, like the game's over." But so I got into paintball when I was a kid, and then played with the neighborhood kids, rec ball, whatever. I started working at the paintball field, like 30 minutes away from my house.
Which one was it?
It used to be called Adventure Zone, and I think when I started working there, it was Avid Extreme Sports already. They rebranded.
Okay. And where are you at right now? So everybody knows
Right now, I'm
where is
still
it?
in
Florida.
Tampa. I'm still in Tampa. Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
staying
You're
until
you're
the
stuck
next
there the
event.
whole year. You live there. You
Yeah.
play. He probably plays 14 hours a day. They've got him on
No, no.
Russian drugs, everything. He's got IVs every night,
Yeah,
guaranteed.
we're stemmed up. No, that's not-
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm still here in Tampa. Just gonna give myself some days to rest and then go back to drilling because I'm here.
Yeah.
But,
So yeah, you do you go back to, I think your home base is Oklahoma, is that right?
Oklahoma. Hmm.
That's where you were born and raised at, and the whole adventure started?
Yeah, I was born in Honolulu, Hawaii, but I grew up in Oklahoma like my whole
Wow,
life.
okay.
So,
Amazing.
mhm.
Awesome, man. Yeah, and right now, for the listeners, if you didn't know, the Red Legion takes their training extremely serious, obviously. You go on 6-week stints, I'm pretty sure, with the
Mhm.
squad, but because I think there's 6 weeks till the next tournament, you're
Yeah.
just rolling right into the next one, and you're going to be there at home base in the Florida area, probably
Mhm.
Tiki's, or it's
It's Thunder Valley
Thunder
now. They
Valley.
rebranded.
Thunder Valley. That's
Mhm.
right. So you'll be putting in that work. Yeah. What's that regiment like? Talk to us about that.
So for me as a new player coming in, like I've already blocked out 6 weeks before each event. I'm gonna be here. Not everybody is here for the whole 6 weeks, but some of the newer guys, some of the guys are stay local. I think at least 4 of the guys are local in Florida. They just stay in the team houses,
Yep.
and then we can just drill and whatever throughout the week. And then when the coaches come back, they're taking a couple of weeks after this event. But when the coaches come back, we have a scheduled practice at least 5 days a week, and it's a few hours session, and then we do some fitness trainings sometimes, but the field's always open for us. So even if we have a scheduled practice in the afternoon, we can still go to the field in the morning if we want and just do our own
Mm-hmm.
training.
Warm up.
I was
Yeah.
doing that a lot
Mhm.
before this event just because I felt like I had a lot of catching up to do, new to the squad and everything. So scheduled practice at 3, I would go out in the morning with the coach while he was doing some field work and just do some drills by myself or with Michael Johnson.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's amazing. And then when did the tournament paintball adventure start for you? How did that look like once you went to the birthday party, you had a bunch of fun there. You went to the paintball store and you're like, all right, let's do it. Give me the
Yeah,
gear.
so I reffed for a while, and then before I started reffing, actually, my brother was playing PSPs in 2014, so I went with him just as a kid, like to watch. I didn't play or anything. I was like, man, this is crazy. This is so expensive, but this is cool. This is cool. But I was like, these guys are gonna beat me up. Like they'd shoot me up, so I'm never gonna do this. But then in the end of 2020, I had already gotten like I think I was shooting a G Tech or something, playing the Eclipse G Tech at that time. And I got invited out to a memorial speedball event at Paintball Club of Choctaw. And then was out there. I think that was really my first taste of speedball. And after that, some of the guys were like, hey, you're kind of good. So we got this tournament coming up. I think it was like a USXBL or something, D4, D5. So Senate, my first paintball team, they invited me out to try out and play with them. So I went down, tried my first event, and then went to the XTPL at the beginning of 2021, and then we got second. And then I was kind of hooked after that. Michael Johnson and I were playing on the same D5 line.
Okay. So you know MJ for a long time then.
Yeah. He worked at the same field I did for a little bit too.
Cool.
Full
So
circle.
we've always been, and at the PSPs, he was the one holding the cards because the sideline coaching was allowed. So he was holding the kill counts or whatever. Yeah.
Damn, that's full
So we go
circle,
way
man.
back.
It's amazing. And then, so 2021, you guys had that rolling. And then how did you level up? How did you get to the point to where you're having a pro team like the Red Legion, one of the most famous and successful pro teams in the history of the sport? They want to take a look at you. How'd that happen?
So after that, I played the full 2021 season, and I played EXLs up in Kansas. So it's just a few hours drive away in D5, and we won a few events. And then 2022, I just took it off for school. But 2023, I came back pretty hard because I'm hooked, man. You never really step away from paintball forever.
Yeah.
I did double time. I did D3 NXL with a Texas team called Swag Jackers, and then D4 USXBL with Senate. So I was driving to Texas all the time for practice just because I felt like that was the next step. And when I first started playing,
Hold on, how long was that drive?
To the field, it was like 5 hours. To Dallas, it's like 3.5 or 4. So just depends if we practice, which field we practiced at. But I was gonna say, when I first started, something that the older players kind of instilled in me was that you should always try to play to the highest level you can, against the highest level of competition you can, as much as possible, because that's how you're going to get better. You don't get away with as many mistakes if you're playing better players, and you force yourself to be better. So I didn't want to just stay in the lower divisions forever. I wanted to see if I could push myself and succeed in D3. And so I did that year. And I also, through the Swag Jackers, got introduced to the Maple Leaf Chiefs 10-man. And then through the Maple Leafs Chiefs 10-man, played with them all through 2023, 2024. I got introduced to Todd Boyer and the KC Missouri All-Stars guys, because they were also Chiefs as well.
Yeah.
So that's how I got plugged in with the KC Sports Complex camp. I went and played some D4 events with them in the 2024 season. And then at the end of 2024, Todd brought me up to the semi-pro line for the All-Stars. We got 4th at Chicago 2024, and then we played Cup as well. And then I stuck with them pretty much through the whole 2025 season until
So
Dallas.
you really only had 4 years of tournament experience before joining Red Legion.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy impressive. So in the off season, it's my understanding you went to the tryout, right? How did that connection come about, or is that not right?
So after Dallas 25, I was kind of burnt out. I put a lot into the game, like, because for All-Stars, I was driving from Oklahoma to Kansas City, and that's also a 5-hour drive. So it's like, I'd do landscaping shifts all week, drive 5 hours of practice, stay the weekend, drive all the way back, and do it again. And it just took a toll, like, by the end of the season, because we were kept fishing middle of the pack, whatever. But just kind of trying to reevaluate my priorities, see what I should be doing.
Sure.
So I didn't go to World Cup. I just needed to take some time for myself. And then in the off season, I got contacted by Ryan Gray, and he gave me the opportunity. I was like, man, I either go all in right now, or I'm gonna just do something else. And I'm like, I don't know what else I would be doing. So, and how often do you get a shot at Red Legion?
Yeah.
So I give it all I got, and whatever happens, happens.
That's actually pretty big props to Ryan Gray then, to have discovered you and reach out and have you come out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, this is something I don't think a lot of coaches do. A lot of coaches don't do a great job of paying attention to the divisional players and the up and coming players. And I think that is the direction that professional paintball is going, is having these not necessarily farm teams, but players that you can keep your eye on. And when they're ready, you get them in your system early, and it helps them avoid a lot of bad habits. And, Red Legion plays a certain way, Impact plays a certain way, Damage plays a certain way. So if you want a player to play your style, it makes sense to, bring them up and teach them how to play that style from the beginning. And that does start with the newer players rather than recycling all of us old heads. Tyler, you and I are on our way out, man. We're washed. This is the future right here.
Yeah. Yes,
and so it's I got to give, like I said, I got to give Ryan a lot of credit. He does a great job with that.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously found a gem here.
He's also local. Like, he's a local Oklahoman too. So we had known each other through Avid Extreme Sports and whatever. But I didn't know I really didn't know he was scouting me at events though. I brushed shoulders with him, but I didn't know.
Yeah. Like Marcelo said, I think that's going to become more prevalent in the scene as we move into the future. Is we're going to have some sort of a scouting agency that's looking at the up and coming divisional players and saying, hey, we got a stud right here, we got a stud on this squad. Let's watch out for these players, and kind of almost have a system of making sure that we get the talented players such as yourself into the pro circuit and keep it really strong.
Well, especially now, I'm gonna take that even further, Tyler. I think especially now, the fact that you were able to have, and I don't mean to put too much on your plate either, because it's a long season. You still have a lot of work to do. Obviously, you had an amazing event, but you did something that hasn't been done before, as far as a rookie coming in and a top level team, a contender, giving that player the lion's share of the points, and that player having a performance like yourself. Whereas before, like, if you bring in a newer player, you realize, or at least hope, that it's a development process. And maybe by the end of the season, they're stealing some points and earning some points. Maybe in, the next season, they become a starter. And maybe in 3 seasons, they'll be one of the better guys on the team. But it's like a long process. Whereas you have come in and completely, shaken everything up. So I think teams are going to be maybe even desperately looking for that next gem now. You know, like I actually think you might have just done a lot of really cool things for divisional players. You know, like
Yeah.
a lot of divisional players are going to be getting opportunities now, probably because of that performance, which is a pretty cool thing.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a really cool message in your story as well of the determination that you took to go hit the road. You know, like you said, you're working your ass off during the week, and then you said, "What am I going to do? Sit around here and keep doing what I'm doing, or am I going to chase my dreams?" And you chased it, and you have attained what most players will never attain in their entire career of playing paintball, winning a pro tournament, getting an MVP in your first tournament, your first pro tournament, man. Yeah. So the message is so monumental for people to just understand that you can do this. You can make a dream come true in paintball, but you got to be gritty and you got to want it as bad as you want it, because you clearly want it more than anything in the world, and you're doing everything. You're applying all your time and effort to make sure that those dreams become a reality. It's not just happening by happenstance or, you know, like stumbling upon it. You're putting in a lot of effort. So I think it's a really powerful message to all the divisional players out there listening, that if you do want it, you got to chase it and you got to attack it.
Yeah, it's a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah,
no doubt.
You want to really give it your best. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you mind me? You said in 2022, I think you said you were finishing up school. Did you graduate college? And
yeah, I went to college. I graduated in I'd already graduated in 2022. I just graduated and I just took the season off.
Okay.
Yeah,
got it.
But mainly my background is landscaping.
Okay. Do you still do that, or is it paintball full time? Are you able to balance
now?
it?
I've totally just committed to this. I mean, I just moved all my stuff back home and came out here to camp to give it everything. So yeah, it's minimal expensive. Come out here, see what happens. If it doesn't work out, I always got back home. But hey,
100%. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you have to. If you didn't, you would look back, for the rest of your life and say, what could I have done? That,
100%. Yeah, there was never an option. I got the opportunity. It's like, I cannot turn this down, or I will forever wonder what would have happened. And look what 100%. Happened.
Yeah, look what happened, man. Way to go. And congratulations as well. You guys won the 3v3 tournament inside of this.
Damage. Oh,
no, we got him there. We got him.
We had to give you something. We had to give you something.
Yeah,
we got him there.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But sorry, talk to me about like what that energy was like inside the stadium. That's also a huge moment for you, being able to play. You know, this is not only your first pro tournament, but you're playing inside of an NFL arena, which is pretty crazy.
That was the coolest thing ever, dude. I can't describe. It was the soundscape for me. Like, you're walking out to the box and the 30 seconds. Dude, 20 seconds. Like, this is sick, dude. This is sick.
They had
go on.
They had the music in between some of the points that are like at NFL games that God, it's the iconic song. I don't know the name of the damn song. Everyone knows it. It's not an actual, it's not like there's no lyrics, but it's oh God, what is the name of it? It's at every football game, like in between downs. But like I was hearing that and like fans are going crazy, dude.
People cheering, yeah, that's sick.
Wild.
That's sick. They got that video of Malloy walking out to the box, dude's falling with the phone, just like it captured the vibe perfectly. And then that silence as the 10-second counter is going down and action. It's so sick.
Yeah, man. What do you think the optics?
What a game for the optics. Our game was so sick. Like, you running for the buzzer at the end of.
I know.
It's so amazing.
I know. Dude, I'm so mad about that. I'm going to share this with the listeners. I don't care. We give everything away on PTG. It is what it is. But, it's always like the thought that in those one-on-ones, if a team is up a point in a one-on-one, the team that's up, the player that's up has such a massive advantage, right? Like, exactly what, even if it's not at the end of the game, like if we're at the start of a game and it's 1-0 and it's a one-on-one, I have such an advantage if I'm up a point because I know what you have to do. At the worst, I'll go for a trade. Like, you're just going to, you play differently and you have that advantage. I had enough time. I realized I could have stole the advantage back from Malloy. If I would have just stopped at my back center, I actually now have the advantage because he has to stay over the top and engage. He can't stop shooting. So like, he's forced into an uncomfortable position. Maybe I put a good ball on him and then hit the buzzer rather than just going for it. And so it was kind of an interesting learning experience, and what a bummer to, have to go through that on that stage. Would have been epic to be able to complete that. But still, it was just like so cool, man. I mean, because that game, obviously, it got out of hand pretty quick. It was 6-1. We were on the brink of a
What
mercy
a
rule, which-
comeback. What a comeback.
yeah. I think, you know, so many people reached out afterwards like, how scripted was that? I swear that was not scripted. That was just, you know, really good paintball. And I think also like both the teams approached the entire thing a little differently, you know, understanding it's a spectacle and like really leaving it all out there. And I think both teams and all the players really did that, you know, and it led to very exciting paintball. It really did. Like what a insane experience. I don't know if you were in the backstage while we were talking about this yet, but I think Tyler and I both agree that it's the #1 paintball experience that we've had, you know, which is kind of crazy to say, you know. I mean, this is like this is our 20th, 21st pro season, you know, like that's a long time. And we've been to some pretty epic places for paintball. And that was like, I mean, what a place to have your first event.
That's just normal. That's just normal aura type things, you know, like that's just normal. His first pro tournament, you know, just inside the NFL stadium.
They set the bar so high for an event.
You should just retire now, actually.
I told that to Ryan, like right after we won. I'm like, hey, can I retire?
That's it.
Like,
I'm hanging it up.
I'm done, man. Like,
played inside the stadium, won the game, won the tournament, won the MVP, did it all. Did you get, I don't think they might not have done it yet, move of the event? Do you know if that's been decided yet?
I don't think that was handed out. I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Sometimes they wait. Yeah, sometimes they wait a little bit, and Pate and Maddie kind of decide what it is. I mean, you had some insane moves in the finals. That move you made to bunker Chad and Zach
and the brick guy, yes, dude.
Bro, I mean, it was just crazy. And you lived, you know, like you had to hit both those shots because Zach's looking that way. You kind of surprised him, but you still had to connect with like your first couple balls. Otherwise, I mean, Zach's great. He's going to be able to turn and shoot you. He wasn't even able to put a ball on you after you bunkered the guy that's right in front of him and pulled your gun up. It was like, you guys did lose that point, but it definitely wasn't your fault. You know, JC stole it on the other side, but like moves like that, you were just making over and over and over and over. Is that the style that you've always played, or has Red Legion kind of had you lean into that?
I think I would say definitely the latter. Like they've helped me find confidence in aspects of the game that used to be massive insecurities for me. Where it's like for a long time I was like, I started out like D5, just brain dead aggression in the snake. They're like, crawl forward, get a kill. I'm like, okay, cool. But I don't know anything that's happening on the rest of the field. And for a long time, I'm like, okay, as I level up, if I don't know where all other 9 bodies on the field are at all times, then it's like a failure. Like I don't have all the information, and therefore, like I'm
Pause.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Pause. This kid's smart, man. I mean, I call you kid. You're not a kid. You're a grown man at 26. But to say you need to be aware of 9 bodies rather than the other 4 of your teammates is high level. Because that's exactly right. A lot of players are like, they're focused on their side. You need to be worried about the or the other team, you know, you need to be worried about the whole picture. That is how you make the right decisions out there.
And you do. And you know, watching the footage,
he's been listening to Pete. Do you ever listen to our show at all?
I used to listen to a bunch. I tried to start from the beginning. I got pretty far, and then I
feel good for us now, bro. He's too good for us.
No, he's been
too much aura.
But yeah, the aura is strong on this one. But you're right, man. It is the awareness, and you're also correct in the fact that it is a failure on our part as a player if we aren't like vigorously trying to figure that information out with big intention.
But the point I was saying is that I used to spend so much time trying to like get that information that it would paralyze me in the game. It's just like I can't make a move until I know every variable, and that just takes too much time. Like I can't process that. I can't be aggressive. I can't take the gap, like take the jump when I need to, because I'm like worried about something that could be that you know very well may could be. But hey, sometimes you just gotta read what is happening rather than what could be happening, like in the moment.
So
especially for the Red Legion style, where it's like, hey, let's go. Like you worry about your side of the field. You know what's happening right here. Maybe look cross every once in a while, but just trust that your guys are doing their job over there, and then go do what you need to do.
That's right.
So that's was my mindset coming into this, and that's how they refined my mindset during camp. But,
well, also it's doing the homework on your opponent as well, because if you know yourself and you know your opponent, it's going to be pretty damn hard to beat you, because you're going to have a lot of details already mapped in the hardwire of the, of what's going on in front of you. So doing the homework, knowing your opponent, knowing what's in front of you, knowing their tendencies, knowing what they're pretty much already going to do. I before I play somebody, I pretty much already know what they're going to do, how they've been playing the entire tournament. And I know that that's how you're seeing the field as well. And you're having complete faith in the operation that's going on the other side. You can only control what you can control right in front of you. And if you're too busy thinking about things that woulda, coulda, shoulda, what's going on over here,
Exactly.
you're deviating from these big opportunities right in front of you that are happening right now. Yeah, absolutely,
100%,
man.
100%.
Yeah, it was cool to see you put that on full display all weekend long. And you made a damn name for yourself, but you didn't even have a jersey with your own name on it. And you went out and just stunted. So yeah, you had the Lopez jersey on. Who's Lopez?
Sebastian.
Sebastian. Yep.
Dude, that's what's so funny is like, because I know Sebastian. He was an old Team USA kid, and that's who I thought you were at first. And I'm like, I thought Sebastian was a little bigger. Like, doesn't look like him, but good for him. He's getting reps. I haven't seen him in a long time. And then they're like, no, it's Thomas Ara kid, And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, he's a fucking stud.
Yeah. It went off. All right. So what did you think about the 5 pods? We changed that up as well. We had went from unlimited to the 5 pods. How do you feel that played out?
Well, I mean, me personally, like, you'd probably get better feedback from a back player, but like me personally, I could probably count on, 2 hands how many points I've ever shot more than 5. Like, I think a couple points I shot 7. I was like, whoa, like what happened?
Yeah.
So it didn't really affect me, and especially for the Red Legion style, like push as many points as possible, and the new league rule where you want to play as many points as possible for the wild card or whatever.
That was amazing. The gameplay that we got out of that new rule change to the points scored as opposed to margin, you could see the game changed, and it was really fun paintball to watch. Now the question is, how do we keep that moving on Sunday? Because it was, obviously Friday, Saturday, you have that really aggressive pace. And actually, as I think of it, our match that we played 11 points. The final score was 6-5. So it all depends really on the field layout and the teams that are out there and the style that they want to bring into the arena. Yeah.
It was like those like our match against Uprising was, just treacherous. A 2-1 game, it was like the early bracket at 8 a.m. was very slow, both games. But I feel like it was kind of just, look, it's Sunday morning, it's how it is. I did an interview right afterwards with Go Sports, and I even said that I was like, I bet the games will speed up as the day goes on. People get a little more comfortable, and it's not going to be like this all day. And it was great. I think the new layouts are going to be really good. I haven't seen a layout yet with the new bunkers that have been slow. I think removing the 2 big wedges helps a lot because it just opens everything up. And I love the new starfish bunker that everyone's calling it.
No, it's the screwdriver. It's
doing not a starfish, dude. I don't know about calling it a screwdriver, but it's not a starfish. Starfish has 5 things, So like I don't love calling it starfish either, but that's what everyone calls it. I'm gonna call it the plus sign. It's the plus.
The plus bunker.
Yeah,
the Phillips head bunker.
Yeah, it's like I like the plus. The plus is good. I like there's but yeah, it's definitely the starfish is done. We're done with that. It is the plus sign or the screwdriver, one of those two. But yeah, it was a fun bunker. It was. I liked it.
Yeah, like no matter where you put it too, it's a lot of fun. Thomas,
this guy played it like a master, dude. The way you were angled on it and just you played it really well.
Thank you.
Yeah, at one point you were standing up in that 50-yard line bunker with Chad George right in front of you, but you were obviously not exposed to the back center. I'm like, you're so low in a full like stance gunfight position in that bunker, I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty good.
It's a good height for me. It's a good height for me.
No doubt. No doubt. What was your favorite moment from the final match?
From the final match, I mean, the moment right after what you were talking about when I was standing there and I was able to go through and get Chad, like moving into their brick was cool. Obviously, the slide through to get both was really cool. I just wish we would have been able to pull that point through.
Yeah.
I think like the point right after I got that minor that got overturned, and I was able to crawl down and just like they sent me back out, got overturned, sent me back out, and I was able to crawl down and secure that 6th point. That felt good because I was like, damn, bro, I got a minor. I didn't need to even make that move, and then I got a minor. Thank goodness it got overturned. But That was
Yeah,
just like another
it
mental
wasn't a
error. It's like,
minor.
I didn't even need to make that move.
Yeah.
And then I got a penalty for it. And like, yeah,
Mhm.
but I was happy that I could come back and I didn't let that affect me too much. And then we got that next point. And
Yeah.
That was definitely crazy because I mean in real time it definitely looked like you got hit, but in slow motion it was like, oh, it definitely hit the bunker, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. With Red Legion, because there's a couple points that you did something I'm going to ask you about, but do you have a lot of say in the creativity and how you play? You know, when you go to a certain spot, or do they? Because I remember when I played for the team, this was back in 2012, it was pretty structured to where like you kind of did what you were told in each spot. You know, there was
In
like
each
little room.
bunker?
Yeah, there was like
Mm.
little room for creativity, but it was very regimented. Like often, even down to like how much time you spent in a bunker. Like I remember Max had the amount of time you spent in each bunker getting down the Dorito side, you know, and if you like, I remember specifically a point. I went down the Dorito side in what I thought was pretty fast, and I shot like 4 people. I had a great point, and I was like really excited about it. And I came in, and Max was pissed off, and he's like, you know, 15 seconds here, like it was too long, and 15 seconds there was too long. I'm like, well, I couldn't really go before that, you know.
Yeah.
But like that was the style.
Yeah. I mean, it's still push the pace, aggressive. Like if you stay
Yeah.
on the first line too long, he's like, all day you stay on the first line, and it's
Yeah.
like, I know, yeah, we need to make our secondaries.
Yeah.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's as strict as like you get to this bunker, you do this thing. You obviously have those as tools where it's like, you know, you get there, you know what you can do. But it's at least on this layout, it was if there's nothing stopping you on my side, like why not go? Why not go?
There was some times where nothing was stopping you, but you decided to pull up. You would dive into the snake and pull up right in the back of the beam to shoot that center can that I didn't see anybody else do.
It was mainly,
where did that come from?
But sometimes the can guy was there too. But there was a little sliver where you could actually see the home. So whenever guys were doubled up, when they were doubled up, I don't think I ever converted it to a kill, but I got dang close.
You trapped him though. Yeah, you trapped him. So is that a read that you made, or did someone on the team that's been playing longer show you that?
No, I spotted it, but me and Malloy were both eyeing that up. But on the practice field we did, like
level.
One of the sides was a little bit off where it was obvious, like you could just see the home from the snake one knuckle. But then later it was just further at the back of the beam. But what home guy is going to stay there ripping over the beam? Like he's going to shoot that, you're going to slide in, he's going to do something else, but he's still there. So maybe I could get a kill.
Yeah.
Creative,
smart.
Man. Yeah.
What's it been like working with Malloy, working with Kirill, Karsliv, these legendary players? What has that been like?
They're legends, man. I mean, I've spent most of the time with Coach Max here because he's the one who was in town for the first like 3 or 4 weeks I was here before the rest of the Russians came. He's an incredible individual skills coach, and he's got such a mind for the game. Like even in his broken English, he can break down your mistakes and really get it through your head. He's like, you make the same mistake. He's like, again, you make the same mistake. You do this, you do this. I'm like, I know. And then you fix it.
Max is awesome. He was one of my favorite coaches of all time. Actually, one of the reasons I left Red Legion and went to the Ironman was because he got banned from the US. That was when he wasn't allowed here for 5 years, right before World Cup. And I was like, you know, really upset over it because it took a long time to kind of earn the trust with him. But I loved working with Max. He was really great.
Yeah. And then the rest of the guys, obviously, like Malloy, after the points, you know, I ask him like, hey, anything for me here? He's like, this. He's so smart. And then okay, bro, like maybe I go here and do this, and then they can do this, and then you go here and do this. I'm like, okay, like this guy's plotting to kill somebody, bro. Like,
yeah, hell yeah.
But they're so
Malloy's
smart.
funny.
And Justin as well, They're so smart on the box with developing the game plan. And my paintball IQ isn't there yet to be able to develop the plan for the whole team. But I'm dialing in on being able to do my part first. So
that's right.
Yeah. Damn. So the coaches are allowing you guys to kind of make these calls at the gate based on reads, what you're seeing, what.
Yeah, this one we tried a lot. Like they were giving us quite a bit of freedom.
This
maybe
field
they
was
would give
kinda
us
like
an objective
that.
bunker, but the routes is up to us.
This field was kind of like that. I typically don't like doing that, but sometimes the fields call for it because based on what the other team sets up, you almost have to do something. you
It's
know,
a lot
and
on the box. Like you see what
it
they're
is.
doing, and then you kind of decide what you should
Yeah,
do. And
for sure.
we're supposed to be the specialist for our side and just know what we should be doing based on
Yeah.
the variables.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
yeah.
No, I agree with that for sure.
Yeah, it was a really fun layout. Hats off to Trosin for putting that one together.
Mhm.
There was tons of obviously zones that you could sit in off of both sides of the start box there. And then what we talked about as well, Marcella, before the season started, we want it to where there's a high probability that one player's has a, you know, almost 75% chance. It's like, all right, we don't know if we're going to have 5 off the break. It's going to be a 4-on-5. It's going to be a 4-on-4. And we saw a lot of that on this field. Even in the finals, we played you guys 4-on-5 and we're able to get a couple off the break and then bring that one back. And I think it makes a really fun pace of game when you don't have every single point where it's a 55, you know? Thank you all from the bottom of our hearts for the tremendous support with the PTG show. If you are enjoying these episodes and want to help with the progress and development of this program and connect with like-minded, hungry paintball players, then head on over to ptgpodcast.com, click the orange Patreon link, and become a member of the PTG World Discord chat room. And now back to the show. That you can't make every spot every single time. And I think that with the new layouts and the way that they've designed with taking that wedge off the field, putting the plus sign in there, I think that we have a really fun game. Now we have the points scored versus margin. We got the 5 pods. It just feels like the game style, the play style is trending in a really fun direction right now.
Yeah, definitely this layout is kind of one where you didn't always know what was happening on the side, because there's like that brick there. You don't know what this guy can make all these moves behind the starfish, but that makes it fun. It's a little bit more uncomfortable because you don't know everything, but it's more fun because you can be the one to make the other guy uncomfortable. So,
well, and that's exactly what you're talking about too, about kind of ditching that voice in the back of your head that's saying, hey, but what if he's here? Or what if he's there? You know, and just acting on instinct. If you feel a move, that's something that I tried really hard to lean into, you know, 3 or 4 years ago. And I think my game got a lot better once I did, because I'm the type of player that also likes to have all the information. You know, I like to be very methodical. I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to let my team down. I want to always have good survivability, but often that would keep me from doing great things on the field, you know, and leaning into the idea of sometimes you just, if your gut feels it, there's probably a reason, you know. Do you do any reading by any chance?
Not too much.
Okay. There's this book that I read from Malcolm Gladwell called Blink, and it's about the unconscious mind, and it's about your like gut instincts. And ever since I read that, paired with, you know, some different conversations that I've had with like Oliver and people about this, I've learned to really trust that instinct, because it's your brain taking all the information that you have available to you and making the most accurate, you know, decision immediately. The more that you think about it, you allow emotions to kind of cloud what was already the most precise decision. So like that gut instinct that we have is very accurate. It is the most accurate thing that we have. The longer they did all these tests, the book is, you know, has all these different science experiments in it. The longer you take to make a decision, often the more likely you are to make the wrong decision, which is very interesting. You know, and they did this across like different military operations and business, like all sorts of stuff, relationship, you know, how you feel about people. So applying that to paintball really helped me, you know, and it doesn't always work. Sometimes you make the move and the person's where you know, didn't work, is what it is. But more times than not, you end up being right, you know, especially like as you gain experience and you read more and more situations, that feeling, I try to really trust it as often as possible, you know, and it's actually even been something I've talked about it on the show before. You know, I don't do a ton of reading either. I used to read a lot more. Now it's a lot of reading on the phone and different articles, but like, as far as books, that was like such a iconic book that really changed the way I approach things. Like so much so to the point to where if I'm ever making a big decision, the way that I make the decision is I will spend 3 nights of like, I'll spend all day thinking about all the variables. And then I go to bed. And as soon as I wake up, whatever my first thought is, as soon as I wake up about that decision, I'll give it a tally mark. You know, I'll do that for 3 days, and whatever the winner is, that's it. Cause to me, it's like the most, you know, like, unbothered decision. It's like the purest, you know, feeling about it. So, it served me pretty well, but you can definitely apply that to paintball. And I agree. Like you're not always going to have all the variables. Sometimes you just got to trust the gut.
Yo, hey, Aura, you looked like a robot out there when you were playing. So walk us through your process of how you process the information as you're navigating down the field. Because I know I have my own process. It's like a checks and balance system, where I'm checking things off and I'm making sure that body positioning is proper and everything is where it needs to be, so I can have clean gunfights. Walk us through your
Talking
process.
about my body mechanics.
Exactly. And not just the mechanics of your body, but the mechanics of your mind as well, because the way that you were processing the information, just watching you, I could tell that you have a very methodical system that you're working through as you navigate the field. So I kind of want to have you break that down for our listeners.
Especially for the like snap shooting and stuff, like a lot of that is max. Like when I came here, like I have a, some level of skill, but he really helped to refine, like, answered a lot of questions in my head of, because I've never had really a coach before, especially not like a skills coach. I was just trying to figure out, like, oh, what is the best way to snap? Like, what if I try it like this? But he was like, no, like you put your leg like this and your head like this, and you hold your gun and you match your gun to the angle of the bunker and you roll out, and like that's it. So it's like in practice, I was getting used to the muscle memory of, like, I get to the position, I find the fire line, I set my legs how they should be, everything's engaged, elbows in, my gun's matching, I roll, and then that's it. So it's like now I'm just faster at setting up for that.
Explain the fire line, because that's very important.
So I mean, this layout on the snake side, we have like kind of a true tape, or like a ladder snake, where there's just that line where those knuckles can see down it. So that's your fire line, is where you're exposed to the enemy fire, man. So
that's right. Yeah, I talk about this all the time in my clinics, and there's all these invisible lines, right? There's these lines that you have mapped out in your mind, and you're trying to get to those lines with obviously meticulous fundamental soundness on those wires and on those lines. And it's so important, because you give yourself away, or you just make mistakes if you're not really sound on those fire lines.
And then when you get to your spot, like, you used to drilling that mental checklist, and like, this is how my snap should be if I want it to be as optimal as possible. And sometimes you got to, improvise, but it's like, then when I'm in a spot where I don't need to rush and I'm in a position I know isn't optimal, I'm like, I'm gonna fix this really quick. My outside leg is up. I know my outside knee should be down if I want my best snap. So I'm gonna switch that before I decide to engage this guy. But that's that's helped me a ton, is just having someone to say, this is the right way to do it, and then try it and see if I like it, and I like it. So well,
sometimes you got to do the old FK Jason Edwards, throw the gun in the sky, you know what I'm saying, and just let it.
I watched that game back. Oh my goodness. I mean, he's a maniac. Did you happen to see that, Thomas?
From this event?
Yeah, from this event. We were playing.
Was he doing like the tower thing with the gun?
Yeah, but he wasn't in a tower. He was at that brick. He was at
that
big brick by the snake, and like fully extended.
They're never going to expect that.
He was trying to shoot over the cans into the back center. I was like, brother, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I mean,
but he shoots people like that, He shoots people like that. It's wild.
Yeah. It was amazing. I just loved every second of it. And he's actually ripping paint right where it needs to be. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's like,
does he drill that? He's like 3 sets of whatever that's called.
Yeah, I don't think he actually drills it, but he sure does it in practice.
Nice.
He's got a lot of experience. Yeah, he's definitely one of those players where you're like, don't try to do anything that he does. Like if you're at a clinic or something, it's like, that's not correct. Don't do it. He gets away with it. He's done it for decades. That is not the right way. But somehow he shoots a lot of people like that.
He does, man. Yeah. And so I got to ask you, man, you step into this legendary camp. How do you calm your nerves, or how do you put on that kind of a performance and just stay mentally sound through that entire experience?
Like through the training camp, or just the tournament, or what?
Yeah, the whole process.
I guess both. Yeah,
going through that process like that, because that's something that I know a lot of people aspire to accomplish, but when they get in those moments, they might overthink it. They might have too much going on in between the ears and not enough just calmness to get it done.
I'll say at the baseline, you make sure that like your off-field situation, you've either fixed it to where you like it, or you've made peace with whatever it is, so that when you go into the event, it's not a factor. Like It is what it is, and I'm only focused on what I'm doing at the event, paintball, and my teammates and whatever. In terms of Red Legion, it's helped me a lot with my confidence, knowing that if they call your name, it's because they think you are the guy for the job. And it removes a lot of doubts where it's just like, am I really the one who should be out here? Like, is coach making the right call? No, it's like, no, they've done the numbers. You're the guy, and they trust you. And all the other 4 guys on the box, they trust them too. So, I mean, that's helped my mental, especially starting like next to these legends. Like, I studied Malloy growing up, like how he works in the snake. I'm like, man, I'm playing next to this guy. But they believe in me. I'm here. I'm gonna give it my best. So
yeah,
does that
I mean,
answer your question?
Yeah, he's one of the all-time GOATs, and Justin as well, you know, just legendary star players that are on the roster. And I'm sure that builds your confidence too. You're like, yo, look who I got next to me. So let's
They
get
make it easy, yeah. With Justin holding a gap or Malloy behind you doing something, they open up a lot for you to have room to play up front.
And they feed you the awareness that I know helps you make all the best decisions as well. And if you are able to make that a very efficient process where it's like, okay, guys, we need to know this, this, and this, and then I'm able to make the best decisions I can possible. They're going to do everything that they can to feed you that as well.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
This is a fitting question from the Discord from Mark Paris. He says, Thomas, you showed an incredible amount of awareness this event that is very unique for a rookie pro. Multiple times you made elite level plays in creative ways other than just being aggressive in the snake. Is this something that is just coming natural to you, or how did you get to this level so quickly?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, in the moment, sometimes I feel like I don't know what's going on. I know a couple things over here. I hear a couple voices back there, and anything could be happening on the other side of the field. But I just know I need to like pick up the pace so that whatever happening is over there, if it's bad, I'm faster than that. But yeah, I don't know. I just go off my.
It sounds like it sounds like a lot of it is the system is setting you up to succeed too, though. You know, they're asking you to do a very specific job, and you're just focusing on that, which makes it easy on the player. You know, a lot of teams like an Impact or a Damage or a Dynasty, I think all of us would actually expect more from our lead snake player. We would say, no, I need you to be aware of the situation, the clock, the this, the that. And maybe that's a little too much early on, you know, and maybe it's to a detriment. Whereas in your case, it's like, your job is this, just do this. You do this, things are going to go well. And it's kind of an interesting thing to think about.
Yeah. And from camp, like they really help refine my mental process of like what's rolling through my head while I'm playing, in terms of like not just the body mechanic checklist, but like, okay, I get to this spot, I've been in this spot a million times, I made these mistakes, and like maybe I sat here too long, and Max was like, you have to play a proactive game. If the guy's owning you on the wire, see if you can do something else, like pop OT, but be proactive. So I get to the spot, dude's ripping the wire, I'm like, be proactive, find something else. And it snaps me out of like, I can't do what I want to do. Like the guy's shooting at me, like, what am I going to do? Be proactive. I'm like, okay, I'll try that.
That's very
that kind
valuable.
of stuff. They give me some mental cues to just go through when I'm not sure, when I have insecurity of like, oh, I don't know what to do now. Max told me this a million times, so I'm going to try this.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and this layout was very unique where if you controlled the wires, you could control the field. If you didn't have somebody out wide on the Dorito side or someone far up on the snake side cutting that side down, they're liable to be in the 50 immediately, you know, and vice versa on the snake side. If you didn't have someone on that snake wire, they're liable to be
free.
There immediately. So it was a very fun layout in that regard, to where the wires where the domination was, and you excelled at that, like better than anybody in the whole event, without a doubt. And that you took the #1 spot. You got the most, I think, the kill count confirmation, and ran away with it. But it's a really wild thing how the game is, and I'm so excited to watch you play. And dude, you just broke onto the scene and like broke the internet. And everyone's like, where'd this kid come from? You know? And so that's why we're super excited to have you on the show, because you're showing what's possible when you do the right things and you have a great system and you believe in the people around you and you put forward the work ethic. Good things like this happen. So it's really cool to have your story unfolding. And I know it's going to be an inspiration to some kid out there listening or some player that we don't even know of, they're going to look at the Aura machine and be like, if he can do it, I can do it too. You know, you just got to build it. You got to think it. You got to chase it, attack it, and good things happen, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thomas, do you mind me asking, I guess it's kind of personal, but as far as, you know, your financial situation, how are you able to do paintball full time with Red Legion? Are they paying you, or do they just pay for basically all the stuff so that you can live there and play? Or like, what is your game plan as far as how to maybe make this a career, or, you know, do you have plans? Yeah.
So back home, like, I just totally minimized my expenses to make this possible. Like I was like renting a spot. I just moved all my stuff back home because I'm like, I'm going to be in Florida for a few months. Like why be paying rent or something? So I was just minimized my expenses back home, and came out here. And it's nice out here because we have these team houses that we can stay in. So we're really only just paying for our food. We have team houses we can stay in, the team cars we can use, and then the paint's obviously paid for. So that was huge for me. It's the first time I've gotten to practice without facing a giant paint bill at the end. Because then it's like, it changes the way you practice. Because when you're ripping and you're like, dang, that's a lot of money. Like I spill a pot, I'm like, dang,
there's $50. There's $50.
But it changes the way you practice and obviously how much you can practice. And then I'll be negotiating some contract at some point for sure. But
there we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this my all. Like it's gonna be possible. But while I'm out here, I do have some like flexible remote work that I can do, just to be doing something. And because there is some downtime, like we're not playing paintball all day every day. So you can't.
Yeah, and building yourself up with your social medias as well, making sure that you have a strong social presence, maybe starting a brand or doing something fun, some niche things. You know, you have so many opportunities that you can attack through this sport if you just put your effort in the right places. But I know there's a lot of opportunity that is in this game, obviously teaching, and just doing creative things to grow your brand. What was a moment that nobody saw from the event that, you know, meant a lot to you, but kind of went unnoticed when you were out there?
I think it was cool. My dad got to come out. He doesn't get to come out very much.
Oh man, that's amazing.
So my dad,
are you kidding me?
My mom, but last season she got like a little burnt out, so she didn't come out as much. But this one, I'm like, she's like, I gotta come. It's at the stadium. So my dad had been working, and he was like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna make it. But then she was like, you gotta come out.
Yeah.
So he stopped what he was doing. He flew out, and then he got to be there for the finals, for all the Sunday matches. So that was a really special moment. Me and my pops, don't get to share too many of those. So
I love that. That's amazing.
That's
bro.
amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding me? You can't script it any better, to be honest.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah. All right. I have a question here also from the Discord from Marcus. This is kind of what everyone's saying, so sorry if you get sick of hearing it. You're probably going to hear it until the next event. But Thomas, your NXL Tampa was truly an amazing performance. There's a lot of talk after just one event that you could be Rookie of the Year. On the live broadcast, Maddie mentioned you graded out as one of the best players by your own teammates' rigorous metric, or your own team's rigorous metrics. This seems unprecedented as a rookie in any camp. What do you personally plan to do to keep getting better each day? What advice do you have for an individual in paintball to set the bar higher than their previous performance? Jeez, I fumbled through that one.
Say the last part of that question again. Like
he just wants to know, like, what advice you would have to someone to continue to raise the bar from their own previous performance. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean,
especially when it's been set so high.
Try not to make the same mistake twice is the one that's been hammered into my head over and over and over again. And, you know, that helps you pick up on the mistakes and then not make them more. But be critical of yourself, but don't beat yourself down so much that you're, you know, crippling yourself, but be critical of yourself and recognize that even when you have good points, like there's still things you can improve on. Like I made so many mistakes this weekend, and there's so many things that, like, it's great to have the footage to be able to go back and really lock in on what I want to work on for these next 5 weeks before Delaware. But
what was the biggest mistake you made that you wish you could have back?
a lot of mental errors. Like obviously playing my spot, I play it too high sometimes, and would just get clipped on like balls. I didn't even get shot there, but game situation awareness. Like we're up a couple points. The clock situation is this. I have this opportunity to make this move, but I don't necessarily need to make it. And it's tough to turn off that switch sometimes with Legion, I think, where it's like,
Yeah.
go, 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 go. And then you're finally in a position where maybe don't really need to, but you can.
Mhm.
But, and then I was like, oh, I have the opportunity. Let's go. And then I get like a penalty or something, like
Mhm.
just some mental errors like that. And obviously technical skills, like I want to get better at running and shooting. I have 0 running and shooting kill, like, off the break kills this event, which is fine. Like I'm like, it was awkward for me and Malloy off the box to both shoot because like my first step isn't fast enough off the box, so I'm kind of stuck behind him. So I'm like, if it's between me and Malloy shooting, Malloy is shooting, dude. Like he's
Yeah.
so nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
I mean,
I'm gonna be
he's made
working
a
on the
career.
technical stuff, some technical skills, but mainly the mental ones. This event kind of stuck out to me the most. But Coach Gray and Coach Max are great about dialing those in. Like right after they happen, they're like, "Hey, this is probably what you should have done or shouldn't have done." So
Yeah.
Do you have some sort of big adversity that you went through coming up, whether it was in paintball, outside of paintball, that you some situation that you had to kind of overcome?
like a specific situation or just in general?
Yeah, like everybody faces adversity, right? But there's like some life-changing moments that, often a lot of people can look back on that was pretty defining in either direction. Do you have something like that that you would mind sharing, or at least sharing like how you were able to get over or get through those things?
I can't say that I could pin like any specific event. I mean, like you break up or whatever, you're like, damn. But like,
Yeah.
hey, anybody goes through that. I'd say
Yeah,
one
but the
thing.
first one's bad. The first one
The
hurts.
first one is
The
bad.
first
bro.
one hurts.
I'm still not over it, man.
It hurts. Show her your new nickname, Tora, Thomas Ara.
It's over, man. It's over. But I would say something throughout most of my life is I struggled with kind of like just low self-esteem from things that I think like in the same way you can stack wins, like you wake up, you do your routine, like you stack wins, you can stack L's, bro. Like if you know, oh, I should be eating right, but I'm not. I should be going to the gym, but I'm not. And you just keep doing that every day, bro. Like it wears you down. Like the way you see yourself in the mirror every day, like slowly and slowly and slowly. And that can get you into a dark pit, man. So this whole experience has shown me that flipping the way you see yourself just mentally within a very short amount of time can change your entire life. Because I mean, 3 months ago, I was not doing good in my head, bro. Like I wasn't doing what I should be doing, wasn't working out. I was like 10 pounds lighter than I am now. I just really didn't think much of myself. And then I get a call from Ryan, like, hey, you want to try out for this thing? And I'm like, Ryan Gray believes in me that I can do this? Like somebody really believes in me? And I had people gassing me up, like saying I could do this for a long time, but you like stacked L's for so long. I'm just like, nah, they don't know me. They don't know me. I can't do that, bro. But come out here, Ryan coach tells me, hey, you're struggling this area physically. Like, here's a plan. Here's work on it. I'm like, hey, give it a go. Start eating right. Start working out. It builds my confidence. You start stacking wins. I still make my bed every morning. That's the first one every morning. It's like, okay, I'll never miss it, bro. Always.
I'm so bad at that. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't think so. I disagree with this. I'll push back on it with anyone that argues it. I get it. If my girlfriend, she's a habitual bed maker. Like she freaks out that I don't make the bed. I'm like, I'm going to get back in this thing tonight. Nobody's coming over to see it. It makes no sense, but I understand it. I understand the process, and I understand it being like the first win of the day. I get it. it. To me, it's an efficiency thing. Like it's not efficient, it's like, but I understand it. I understand why people do it. And again, it's all about, again, stacking wins. And it's like first thing in the morning, you do something that you've agreed to do, and it's discipline, and it kind of kickstarts the routine. Totally get it. But dude, what you said is so, so valuable, man. It's the way you think about yourself and things. And, you know, if you tell yourself that you want to do something and then you continuously don't live up to that, it's hard to look yourself in the mirror, you know, because you can't lie to yourself. There's nowhere to hide. You can't fool anybody. You know what you agreed to, you know.
But then when people encourage you, you feel like you're fooling everybody, even if it's true. Even if it's true and you're good, and like you fool yourself. It's not good.
For sure. But you're right. It can also flip in the other direction so quickly once you start perceiving the world through that lens too, and you do start focusing. Because even often when you're having all those, you know, small losses, you're actually, you probably still have a lot of small wins. You're just ignoring them. You're hyper focused on the losses, and the way that you think in these moments creates neural pathways in your brain that actually teaches you to continuously think like that, whether it's good or bad, you know? And so once you do start, I mean, I think we all, you know, everybody listening probably goes through these ups and downs where you could be so happy and things seem so good, and then all of a sudden things seem so bad, and like it's the ebb and flows of life. But one thing that has always gotten me through stuff is like, if I'm going through something really negative, I always have this unwavering belief that eventually it's going to get good again. You know, it's like, you just got to keep doing the stuff that you believe in, and eventually it's going to get good again. It's okay that it's bad right now. It's fine that it's bad right now. Eventually it's going to get good again. And I think that's really what optimism is. You know, it's not always being happy. It's always knowing that you can be happy again, you know, that happiness is coming if you keep doing the right things. But yeah, it's like very valuable. And so thank you for sharing that. It's a vulnerable kind of thing. And a lot of listeners, I'm sure, go through, you know, the same stuff, man. And also Ryan Gray being Malcolm Gladwell is my favorite author of all time. I've read all of his books. Another book from him is Outliers, and it has like Bill Gates and, you know, all these like really incredibly famous people, Steve Jobs, how their lives would be so drastically different if it weren't for this one outlier, this one turning point in their life, you know, that is, in your case, could be Ryan Gray, where he's like this one person that believed in you and gave you this opportunity, and it completely shifts the trajectory of your paintball career, which who knows what kind of ripple effects that could have for the rest of your life, you know? It's just really interesting. And so, like, again, that's kind of why you should always be optimistic, because you never know who you're going to meet. And if you keep putting yourself in the right position and you are a good person, that often leads to good opportunities, you know, and things could turn in any direction you want to.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. It's profound, because we're like magnets, all of us, you know, we're energy machines. And if you flip that switch and you start empowering the self-talk, you know, from within, it's amazing what's attracted to you when you start, you know, unlocking those doors on your own. And we would all be lying if we said every day is great and, you know, things are always, that's just not the way it is. It's dark sometimes. And the only thing that I know is that I got me, you know, and you got you, and March, you got you. We have to look out for ourselves. And I'm so glad that Ryan called you, man, because you're going to be a light in this game. You're going to help bring so many new people into this game. And obviously the work ethic is second to none. That has to be at the top of the priority list, you know, but just being able to self-empower yourself and keep it moving in the right direction. That's what it's all about. We're excited to watch you play some more paintball season long after a performance like that. That was tremendous. But I do want to sound off in the chat. We have none other than Cyrus from Paintball Fit in the Discord as well. And if you want to get involved in the Discord, head over to our website. It's a lot of fun. And click that Patreon link and join us there. Cyrus is wondering, who is your favorite teammate? Oh, wait, no. What is your favorite Russian word you have?
Yeah, wait. I was like, where's that? Where's that?
My favorite Russian word?
Yeah.
I've heard a myriad of curse words. In
is
Russian.
It blet?
So I want, and that, I mean, that's a pretty common one. Pasha, like,
yeah.
But
yeah, it's probably been pretty fun, man. Just learning a whole new language too, because you gotta know, you know, all these little details of their verbiage as well.
I know a couple things. I'm getting better at understanding like the accents when they're yelling on the field. Sometimes they're yelling, like when Malloy's yelling at me. Sometimes it takes me a second to be like, oh, he's speaking English now. Like I can actually understand it. But
probably
with Malloy.
Thank you is probably a good one to know, right? Yeah.
Spasibo. I say ya ponimayo, I think is I understand. I use that sometimes.
There we go.
Nice.
Those are good ones to know.
Sure.
Yeah.
but I'm still working on that. I tried to memorize the Cyrillic alphabet a little bit, but I think I'm just going to try to learn the phrase book first because their language is crazy, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And
for sure.
I'm sure there's a lot of slang too, you know, like how we have slang, same kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't even scratched the surface on that, but I'm just going to learn the stuff they say on the field because it would be nice to know like what they're kind of saying on the field, like obviously how to say the numbers, how to count, something. But we always
you know what that is?
No.
Striker, it's 3, so it's usually the back center.
Oh, okay. I hear him say that now that you mentioned that.
Damn it! Now you're gonna be even better.
Thanks, bro. Leveled me up.
Zmia. I always thought Zmia was I always thought Zmia was a really dope. I love saying Zmia.
Yeah. I say it sometimes. I'm like, I can say this in English, but like, I just want to rip it in Russian. Like,
yeah. Dude, it was funny. So when I joined the Russians in 2012, we would go to the event 2 weeks early and kind of do a mini training camp like what you're doing, you know, where every day we'd have different things with the fitness coach and all of that. And Malloy like didn't really say anything, you know. Kirill obviously incredibly personable, friendly. Visa, have you met Visa yet, Pantaleev? Maybe not. He's an old school player.
Is he older?
No. He is, I don't think he wasn't at this event. I just don't know if he's like been out there or is involved in group chats or what. But there were a few guys that, you know, they spoke English and it was cool. But Malloy like didn't say anything, so I didn't think he really spoke English. And we went to the first event in Texas. It was the Galveston event that got rained out and canceled. And so the event gets canceled, huge storm. And Kirill's like, okay, we're gonna drink vodka. You know, everyone's gonna hang out. We're gonna drink vodka. We're like, all right, sweet. So we're hanging out. And keep in mind, I've spent 2 weeks with them, you know, Malloy at like the team barbecue and everything and nothing. We're drinking some vodka and like all of a sudden I say something and Malloy answers in like almost perfect English. You know, I'm like, hold on. You speak English this whole time. You've just been ignoring. He starts laughing, you know, like he was like playing this whole game, you know, and it's like so Malloy if you understand his humor too.
He's such a
like
troll, dude.
He's
such a troll.
He is. He's such a troll. Yeah, Malloy is absolutely great. One of the greatest players to ever play the game, hands down. Easily top 5, probably top 3. You could argue number 1, like just so good. And hilarious. He
is. He's one of the funniest guys. And the whole team, you know, you have a good crew, good sense of humor. Everyone's having fun. That energy is also super important for winning as well. What kind of I'm sure you guys, it's not just rudimentary, just go, hard work all the time. You guys have to have some fun as well.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't like go out and go crazy or anything, but I mean, we had a nice team dinner last night, but the vibe's always good. Like whenever we're getting dressed for practice or whatever, they're always joking around. Pasha's always doing something silly.
The
vibes are always good with these guys. And then when it's time to work, we work.
Lock in.
That's always got to be. All right. PB the Kaizen wants to know, he says, again, insane tourney, brother. What does your mobility routine look like throughout the week if you have one? What are a few things you have learned from Legion players and staff that you feel has helped you grow lately? More so, we've talked a lot about that, but more so the mobility routine. Do you have like a mobility routine, fitness type routine to help you in the snake?
So Ryan put me on like a workout plan to build up leg density in the off season, and that had like a bunch of like 90s, like building up some of those like hip muscles, like hip mobility stuff with bands and whatever. He had me put like the bands around my feet and do these marches. That was really good. Not just stretching and like, you know, getting your hips more flexible, but also strengthening the stuff around them so that, you know, they can withstand the abuse. But I don't have a super strict regimen throughout the week since I got here because we just play paintball a lot. But the warm-up routine before we play is pretty extensive now. Like I try to warm up really good, especially like my groin and my hip areas. Like they get really tight, so I want to make sure they're stretched because when I get injured, normally it's like right there.
Have you had injuries in the past? Anything significant?
Nothing serious. It's just like after an event, it'll be really bugging me. And so I just know that that's a hot spot that I think could get injured if I did something worse. But
I mean, dude, you were throwing yourself into the ground over and over and over and over and over and over. Like the amount of times you went to the snake on the break this weekend was ridiculous.
Yeah. How many points did you play? Do you have the stats on that?
I don't have the stats yet. I don't have the stats yet, but it
Yeah.
was a lot.
It was a lot. Yeah.
Definitely
And
a lot.
have you played other maybe traditional sports, any other sports besides paintball
I played
or
soccer in high school, and then I did rock climbing for a long time, since I was
Two
like
great sports for
11.
paintball and
Yeah.
for paintball endurance. Those are two great sports for paintball
Mhm.
endurance. That's super
Climbing's
interesting.
great because you just build a bunch of weird muscles that,
Yeah.
like, we hold some funky positions in paintball. So climbing
Yeah.
is great for that. And it's also a sport where, especially if you like bouldering or whatever, like you can just throw yourself at the same thing over again and really challenge your mind. Just push a grade. Like you always challenging
Mhm.
yourself to climb something harder. It's a good internal way to challenge yourself. Like,
yeah.
yeah, I like climbing.
What about video games or chess or any of these types
Mm.
of things? Are you into any of those
Yeah,
games?
yeah. I play like milsim games. I like Arma. You know what
Mhm.
Arma is? PC
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
But Arma Squad, that kind of stuff. Played a lot of Rust. Mordhau, if
Nice.
anybody knows what that is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dope. Well, I'm
PC
sure
games.
we have a whole games chat in our Discord as well. People go off and they link up and play video games. I'm sure they'll sound off on that. And
Mhm.
then we got in the Discord as well. Verbal wants to know, this is his famous question. He always asks it every guest. Your favorite food and your favorite place to eat it.
This event, it's my favorite meal has been breakfast. It's a 3 eggs, 1 whole avocado, and rice, and then I put some
Ooh, that's
shoyu on it
nice,
with
bro.
some furikake on there, and then I have I do AG1. I have AG1 that I mix up, and that
Fire.
is the breakfast, and it's so good.
Bro,
Yeah.
eggs and rice is the most goated breakfast of all time. It's
So
so
good.
underrated. It is so good. That is
Mhm.
literally with some hot sauce. Oh my
And
God.
I found out this time if you're down on your luck and you only have like the rock hard avocados, you can slice it up and fry it, and then it kind of softens it up, and you can still eat it right away. It's
There we
really
go.
Oh,
Avocado
yeah.
hack.
Nice.
Did you
Nice.
tell
Good to
Harrison
know.
Fry about this or Joe Barrett? Do they know about this
No,
avocado?
Harrison's already locked in. He's probably
Yeah,
already
he's already
got the
locked
sauce.
in. Yeah. Well, all the avocados that Harrison eats are so old because he got them on discount that like they're, he doesn't have to worry about them not being ripe yet.
I see.
They've been in his gear
Damn.
bag for 2 months, so like he's good.
That's
Traveling
crazy.
with them, yeah.
There you
Avocado
go.
god.
Thomas, my last question from the Discord is from Stavi. He wants to know, Thomas, playing with that much confidence in your pro debut is inspiring. What helps you get in the zone before a match? Yeah, like what's your pre-match routine? What do you do to lock in?
Yeah, I like to marinate my gear for a while, like right before we're warming up. Like I like to be in the gear
In like
for
soy
like
sauce?
an hour.
What do you mean?
Nah,
Marinate
just
your
like
gear? What do you
be in my marinate in my gear. I put my gear on a while before, like so it's all. I don't feel it anymore. It's just
Okay.
on me. And then
Okay.
before the match, just go through the mistakes you made last match and think about them and stuff you want to do better, and then just step out on the field with your boys and see what happens, man.
That's it.
But yeah, just clear your mind. Whatever happens, happens. But you have a say in that.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, you create it. You create it out there. Do you have any a YouTube channel or anything like that? Or
I have Instagram. It's
okay.
Thomas_Ara on Instagram, but I don't have a YouTube or anything.
You literally need to change that name to Thomas_Ara. Like,
Aura,
yeah.
bro.
you just got,
That's hilarious.
you have to attack now, dude. Just attack now.
Yeah.
Like it's, it's there and it's going to continue. And it's just, you got to do it.
I can't
Yeah.
keep up with the kids, man. What if in a few months Aura is cringe now, and then my name is Thomas Aura?
I don't think Aura is ever going to be
It'll
cringe.
never
Aura's been
go
cool for a long time.
But we're unks,
Yeah.
man.
What's that?
How do we? We're all unks, bro. We're old.
Yeah, we're getting up there.
I don't know. You got to just Aura max as long as you can.
It's timeless. The Aura is timeless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's eternal. That goes back to the beginning times that we've been talking about Aura since Jesus Christ.
In the scriptures. Let's go.
This goes back to the books. So I don't think Aura is going anywhere, and you definitely got to attack on this branding, my man. You got to get it rolling. Right. Yeah. It's moments like this.
Release though. Which will be in a couple hours, and people will listen and they'll get it and like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever.
I see.
Yeah, Thomas, it's been a real treat getting to know you, and we're really excited to watch your journey, man. If there's any thoughts or any thanks or any shout outs you want to give, now's your time, bro.
I definitely want to shout out the sponsors, if I may.
Yeah.
course.
So All Event, the sponsors are treating us great. Die, anytime something went down, Alan's right there in the booth fixing whatever needs to be fixed or replacing something that gets ripped. Pro DNA with our tanks, super great. With the powerhouse regulators, ripping all weekend. Defy Paint, that's some of the best paint I've shot like ever. It's such an interesting ball the way like it breaks so well, but it doesn't break in the pods. Great paint. RLGNPB.com. That's where we have all of our Red Legion soft goods and guns and everything. If anybody wants to check those out. And then special shout out for my homie Tank Dangle. If you guys are familiar, bro. Randall Barnes, local.
He's in the chat. He's in our chat.
Yeah. You know, that's where some of the auras. Were you rocking a Tank Dangle?
Of course.
Dude, I lost mine. I need to get one back. I think that's what's been going on. Thank you for reminding me. I need to get my aura back. I think this is the only way to get my aura back. Damn it, dude.
That's it, bro.
Yo, Tank Dangle is legendary. If you don't know, you know now. Do some research. Get yourself a Tank Dangle. He's in the Discord. He holds it down. We love him as well. Absolutely. Yeah, that's the man.
Yeah, but that's it. That's all I got, guys. Thanks so much. Oh, what's up?
No, just the Instagram. Plug that one more time. Make sure you all go over there and follow. It's Thomas THOMAS _ What's the rest of it?
HARA. That's my last name.
For now. AURA.
Yeah, it's HARA.
Yeah. It'll be AURA here shortly.
Let's go.
Yeah. But dude, we can't wait to watch you progress through the season. Congratulations once again on everything, and enjoy the win. We'll see you out in Dover for the Speedway. That's a new event that we're gonna have as well.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no doubt. And I don't think this needs to be said after talking to you for an hour here. I could tell you're obviously incredibly grounded, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. But this is just a start, and it's a long season, like we said earlier. And what a great start, but still a lot of work to do. And honestly, I look forward to watching you grow and get better. And it's a pretty cool story. So you got a couple of fans here.
Yep.
Until we step on the field, then we're no longer fans. But that's how it goes.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, the learning process never ends. You know, we're all every day. It's a constant progression, and that's the community as well. We're all in this together, and that's why we love having this PTG community. And they can reach out to you, and I know you'd be happy to help them on their journey. And we're all just trying to grow and become better on this path.
One of my favorite things about this sport is that it was showcased to me this weekend is that even though my competitors on the highest level are streaming love and support toward me all weekend. It was so incredible. And then on the field, we go and rip each other's faces off.
That's it. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Very unique.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks so much, guys.
Of course, brother. You be safe, all right?
Absolutely. Talk to you soon.
Peace.
Peace.
Later.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to the show. We appreciate your support more than you know. As you guys heard about midway through the episode, if you guys would like to support PTG in any way, you could head over to ptgpaintball.com. You could click the orange Patreon link and sign up at any level and get access to our Discord. The Discord is one of the most phenomenal communities in the game of paintball. We have so many different channels in there. It's great for learning. It's great for connecting, finding teams, selling equipment, whatever it is you want to do in there. We truly have it all. And we hope to see you in there. So again, head over to ptgpaintball.com, click the orange Patreon link, and we will see you in there.